Tonight's big story is very important. Canada has signed a major trade deal with China. This is not a small move. It's a huge decision that could change how trade works in North America. And one big reason behind this shift is Donald Trump's strong tariff threats. Let's understand this step by step in simple terms. In early 2026, Canada made a deal with China. Under this deal, Canada reduced taxes, tariffs, on Chinese electric vehicles from 100% to just 6.1%. That's a massive drop. This means Chinese electric cars will now be much cheaper and easier to buy in Canada. Canada will also allow around 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into the country each year, and this number could grow to 70,000 over the next 5 years. In return, China agreed to reduce or remove tariffs on Canadian products like canola, lobster, beef, and peas. This is a big win for Canadian farmers. For years, they were struggling because they couldn't sell easily to China. Now they suddenly have access to one of the biggest markets in the world. Officially, Canada is calling this a limited or targeted deal, but in reality, it's much bigger than that. It shows that Canada is starting to move away from depending too much on the United States. Now let's talk about what caused this shift. Donald Trump threatened Canada with tariffs as high as 100%. That's extremely aggressive. It's not normal trade negotiation. It feels more like economic pressure. Instead of giving in, Canada decided to find another solution. They basically said, if the U.S. makes trade too difficult, we'll find other partners. And that's exactly what they did. They turned to China. This is a major change. For decades, Canada's economy depended heavily on trade with the United States. The U.S. had a lot of influence because Canada needed access to American markets. But now, that situation is starting to change. Canada is trying to build new trade relationships so it doesn't rely on just one country anymore. This gives Canada more freedom and more power in future decisions. China also benefits a lot from this deal. They get access to the North American market through Canada. It also helps China show other countries that they don't have to depend only on the United States. So this deal is not just about business. It's also about global politics. For Canada, this move is about independence. They don't want to feel controlled or pressured by another country. They want to make their own decisions and protect their own economy. Now let's look at how this affects everyday people. First, electric vehicles in Canada could become much cheaper. Chinese EVs are known for being more affordable. So many Canadians who couldn't afford electric cars before may now be able to buy them. Second, farmers will benefit a lot. With access to China, they can sell more products and earn better money. This could boost rural economies and create new opportunities. Third, industries connected to agriculture, like transport, storage, and exports, could also grow. But this deal also has risks. Canadian car manufacturers may face tough competition from cheaper Chinese vehicles. This could affect jobs in the auto industry. Also, some experts worry that Canada could become too dependent on China instead of the U.S., so it's not completely risk-free. Still, Canada seems ready to take that chance. Looking forward, this is just the beginning. Canada plans to build trade relationships with other countries too, like India, Europe, and Southeast Asia. The goal is clear: reduce dependence on the United States and create more options. Now the big question is, how will the U.S. respond? There could be tension. The U.S. might try to pressure Canada again or introduce new trade policies. But this time Canada has more choices, so it may not be as easy to control. In simple words, this deal is a turning point. Canada is trying to become more independent, more flexible, and more powerful in global trade. At the same time, it shows that global power is slowly changing, with countries exploring new partnerships instead of relying on just one superpower. This is not just a trade deal. It's the start of a new direction for Canada and possibly for the world.